Let's go. We got bowling, baby. We got, we got dreamer, baby. Bowling's, you know, kind of sitting on the floorboard there. We got sun bear, baby. We got dragon tea, baby. Risen. Nobody cares about it.
Risen doesn't get a baby.
Baby! Yes! I love you! Baby! Baby! Yes! Baby! Yes! I love you! Baby! Yes!
DeFi Kingdoms, baby. DeFi Kingdoms for beginners. Do you not know anything about crypto? I got you. DeFi, decentralized finance. You got kids, you got a wife. DeFi Kingdoms, billions of dollars with hero. Yes, baby, why? Amazing. GQ bot, he does. Yes. Even though there's no right or wrong way. Wonder where I'm at? Yes. Once upon a time, in the not too distant past. Baby. Yes.
Baby! Yes! I love you! Baby! Yes! Baby! Yes! Floorboard there. Baby! Yes! It's gonna say let's go. We got bowling, baby. We got, we got dreamer, baby. Bowling's, you know, kind of sitting on the floorboard there. We got sun bear, baby. We got dragon tea, baby. Risen. Nobody cares about it.
Risen doesn't get a baby.
Baby! Yes! I love you! Baby! Yes! Baby! Yes! I love you! Baby! Yes!
DeFi Kingdoms, baby. DeFi Kingdoms for beginners. Do you not know anything about crypto? I got you. DeFi, decentralized finance. You got kids, you got a wife. DeFi Kingdoms, billions of dollars with hero. Yes, baby, why? Amazing. GQ bot, he does. Yes. Even though there's no right or wrong way. Wonder where I'm at? Yes. Once upon a time, in the not too distant past. Baby. Yes.
Baby! Yes! I love you! Baby! Yes! Baby! Yes! Floorboard there. Baby! Yes! It's gonna say
Dragonfly Tails, man. He's so dope. What the heck? Phenomenal.
It's incredible.
He did that. He whipped that up, he said, in 5 minutes and sent it to me as a joke.
No way.
Yeah.
He created literal fire in 5 minutes.
And then he did work on it a little bit. He tweaked it, you know, and added that little bit. We got Aphectz laying there in bed, just like what I'd be doing if I were in his shoes. But he's going to come chime in
whenever, as long as you want. I just want to hear your voice. Baby. Baby.
I actually got up. I'm at my computer now, but yeah.
Oh, you
What's up,
didn't have
man?
to do that.
Nah,
Let's see your good-looking self then.
No, I'm in the dark. Everything is in the dark. I don't want to put my cam on the green screen.
Yeah, you know,
appreciate it, man.
I'm always just sitting there in bed in my underwear, you know. When I do go to the computer for something, it's still in my underwear. Your underwear effects. Let's hear it.
I got sweats on, man.
Oh, no shirt on though.
Nah, I got a shirt on.
Yeah, do you work out? Are you a CrossFitter guy?
I'm not a workout guy. You know what I'm saying? I hit the gym every now and then, but
a little bit. You hit the gym every now and then.
Nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no swole guy, but
no swole. How about Wowee? Does Wowee hit the gym?
Oh man, I used to be a competitive power lifter.
Baby, seriously?
But then I stopped going to the gym and kept eating like I was going to the gym. Now I'm a fatty.
Oh god, it kills you, right?
Oh, 100%. It's my greatest pleasure. My greatest weakness is food.
Baby. Okay.
Oh, it's Worm's birthday. Happy birthday, Worm!
Happy birthday, Worm! Nice.
Ooh. Where's Sir Worm, who is a phenomenal dude in the ecosystem, absolutely phenomenal guy, one of the most generous guys, giving, awesome dude. Where are you from? Hey, we gotta talk about getting Sir Worm.
I think he's from Philly.
Is he?
I think so. I think he was wasn't he at an Eagles game or something like that?
Really?
Maybe he's not from Philly, but I think he was at an Eagles game recently.
Dude,
it was one of those. I think one of the playoff games.
Oh.
Hell yeah, man.
Wait,
I heard that Philly just had like a real bad like water contamination problem recently. Everyone's got to switch over to bottled water. Hope you stay safe, Worm.
Oh man. Super Bowl.
Yeah, super. Okay, so I was like, I know it was one of the playoff games but yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Wow. Okay. So quick thoughts on I like to get everybody's take on my tiers snowball effect that's coming. I don't know if you guys heard Brown Gent came on and pushed back pretty hard. We had iOS code in there. We had a good discussion about it. What do you think? What's going to happen with tiers? What do you think's going on here?
Aphectz, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I'll take the tiers one because I kind of have I watched you and Brown Gent talk about the tiers thing and I see both of y'all points, right? And I'll argue both sides, right? So in the case of when we look at everything in the ecosystem, right now, as of now, tiers are like in a weird place. They're deflationary because they have the burn mechanics with the pets, right? And then the hero summoning, right? But then they also are inflationary because you can just keep getting them if you have floor hero armies, right? And with the influx of people creating floor hero armies, and you have more and more people getting up to like 100 of heroes and more of that, and they all have separate wallets, and with all the influx of bots and everything, there's a case to say that you shouldn't really hold on to them, right? But you for sure when the green eggs come out and when professional 10 level questing comes out, there's going to be a spike for sure. There's going to be a spike. Now, if that spike can sustain long term or not, that's the biggest question. Is like whether that spike in tiers when they get used and then that it spikes up, will it be able to sustain that? And that's what Brown Gent was basically saying, was like, we don't have the player base to sustain that as of right now.
Right.
But then the counter argument to that is like, yes and no, because all right, if professional level 10 quests come out and stuff like that, and pet feeding comes out, right? What if they throw a little, you know what I'm saying, a nasty little curveball, right? Slider on you and say, to feed your pets, you need tiers to feed the pets. And it's just a curveball that just, you know what I'm saying, it makes it so now tiers are really the that's where I can see your bull case of like tiers being the, you know what I'm saying, the most deflationary asset in the game. Because if something like that comes out and tiers are now used for pet feeding, then it's like It's really crazy. Now, I don't know if they'll do that. That's just like speculation. But I can see both sides, and yeah. So I just think that tiers they've held steady right now.
Yep.
They went down a little bit from that previous high, but they're still back up. Now they're going back, and this is what I wanted to say with the bull case on tiers. What you were saying was right, was that it doesn't take a lot of money to move the market of anything in the ecosystem, right? Because look, right, we see Mythic Squad, they hatch 100 eggs a week for their event. And tiers have already got back up to what they damn near were back when everybody was buying them and it was on Twitter and it was a craze. And this is just one person, you know what I'm saying, Maj, doing 100 egg hatching every single week. And tiers they've been floating back up to that high.
That's right. And he's been doing his own hatching too.
That's what I'm saying. And that's a small amount of money. So if we just get 100 players into the ecosystem, even, you know what I'm saying, buying tiers, they could really skyrocket for sure.
Yeah, and I think so much of it depends on the value of a common 1-star pet. If those are worth having at any level, but I think they're for sure going to be worth having at level 10 plus common heroes. Like me, I've got a bunch, won't have enough pets to get all my, to cover all my level 10 plus common heroes. And so I'm going to want those common pets eventually. Once I use up all my rares and legendaries, mythics, and uncommons, then it's going to be like, all right, well, I guess I'll throw this common pet on this level 11 monk over here, And so as long as that is worth having, the return, the XP boost, all those factors, okay, boom, that's going to drive the demand for more pets. When the real world use case is going to be such a sentiment game, like the endorphins in our minds are going to be exploding like fireworks. Now that we can finally use these damn things that we've been, hatching for over a year. Okay. So then that'll drive up the value of the pets in the floor, which will then create more egg cracking. And even guys like me, I'm guessing even a guy like Brown Gent, if it's really worth it to him to have for his 250 or 300 heroes, however many he has, okay, he might decide, you know what, maybe I will send $100, couple $100 into the game and buy up some tiers and eggs. Obviously, while if we realize that the value is there to be had, and if we think that the floor, the bottom has already hit, which I think it has, okay, and there's upside for that to grow, because that way with having pets, we'll get more tiers. We'll get more items in the game. Okay. And so that will also raise the floor of heroes. So hero demand, I think, will come up, which then the sentiment, it's like it starts small, little snowball, and then these things snowball. So more people will come back into the game. Okay. I think. What do you think about that? I think there's quite a lot of people sitting. I've even had multiple people tell me, hey, I just got to take a break for whatever reason. I'm still hanging on to my heroes. I'm still bullish on DFK, but I'm going to go take a break for a while. Right. And a lot of us have done that for short times, but some people may have been doing that for the last 6 months, where they still kind of pay attention. They might catch an AMA here and there. They might catch a video, but they're not doing a whole lot in the game. But once things take off, boom, it's going to be what that does to our mental health. Okay. When things are pumping like crazy, when I almost completely was done with crypto, but fortunately I still hung on, I had a couple Bitcoin. I had 30 or 40, or no, I had 50 or 60 Ethereum just sitting in there that I had accumulated over the years. And I was almost done with crypto, and Ethereum was at $82 and I bought a bunch, and then I fell asleep on it. And then 8-9 months later, all of a sudden, what? Bitcoin's over 20 grand? What? I start hearing about it. Whoa, next thing I know, Bitcoin's at 27 grand. Woo! I start taking my profits. This is when back in I think December of 2020, maybe. Okay. And then all of a sudden in 2021, guess what I was doing? I was all the way back into crypto, full-time guy. Boom. Baby. Okay. So I know that there's a lot of people that will happen to with this game. And they'll begin to be like, whoa, I remember hatching up some pets. Whoa, I wonder if I got some tiers. Whoa, they've been pumping. I've got some heroes. What are they worth now? And they come back in. They start questing again. They start playing the game. Whoa, PvP's out. Whoa, what's this dark summon? I saw somebody say, what? What's this dark summoning? What's going on there? What? They didn't even know that Sterndale had been moved to Klaytn, right? And so all of a sudden they wake up to it. Then, and they're going to be, whoa, getting excited. They might be putting in a little bit of money into the game. And then when the new players start coming in, all right. And then we want to compete, right? Are you going to want those stamina vials to level your heroes? Are you going to want those health vials for combat? Okay. What do you think of all this, Wowee?
I got a lot of thoughts.
Okay, let's go.
I don't know if I've got any quick thoughts about anything, to be honest. I tried to make a little combat tutorial the other day. I thought, I was like, yeah, it'll be like 5-10 minutes long. 45 minutes later, I'm like, I really got to finish this thing up.
It was beautiful, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate it. But on tiers, I have I do have a theory on tiers. I think that in the short term, right, in the next couple months, I think we're going to see an absolute skyrocketing on tiers because it's going to be used in more things. We're going to see our green eggs. Potentially, we're going to see our yellow eggs and even golden eggs. And there's going to be a ton of demand to hatch those because everyone's going to want the new shiny thing, always. I think with Profession Skill 10 quests, I think are going to bring in a higher drop rate of tiers. And I mean, I know you remember back in the day before the change was over, like a hero would come back with like 3 to 6 tiers sometimes. It'd come back with a ton of tiers. And I think that's going to come back. But I think as the rate of tier accumulation across the board increases, I think they're going to create more use cases for using tiers.
That's
so we're
right.
going to see our crafting. We're going to see probably even maybe travel, but like creating. I was talking to Bolon about this the other day about how travel between land is going to be potentially utilized by NFTs, where you'd get NFT vehicles for your traveling party. This is potential. This was we were just throwing this idea around, but it would be kind of interesting to have like an NFT, like a mythic wagon drawn by a llama. You know what I mean? To decrease the amount of travel time by a certain amount. Like those things could be using tiers as fuel to go a certain distance. I think. Even we'll even when PvE comes out, we'll see things like to spawn this certain boss is going to take a certain number of tiers, and it's probably going to be for like guild fights or to like open a certain dungeon up. It could be for like guild dungeons, right, where everyone gets together and pools their tiers together and unlocks this thing for everybody else. Yeah. But I think for the like baseline, tiers are meant to be a time gate mechanic, where no matter what everyone in the ecosystem is doing, it's going to be gated by how rare tiers are going to be. It's going to be it's basically the throttle of the economy is going to be hindering on tiers.
Yeah. So how many eggs do you think will be, like, let's just say, how many of the green eggs do you think will be hatched when we can actually use the pets and that all that goes live?
I mean, I got a little bit of a bag of green eggs, but I think everyone's going to look to hatch at least half of them.
You think 50% of all green eggs in existence will be hatched?
I think, yeah, that's going to be tried.
Okay. How about you, Aphectz?
That's 50% sounds fair. I think iOS code said 25% maximum. But you have to also think too, if people don't have the tiers, they'll just sell the eggs and then sell them. And also, eggs could be one of those, I don't know, in crypto and kind of even in DFK, a lot of times there's always the buy the news. I mean, buy the news, sell the event, or whatever it is. And so that could potentially happen, and it could potentially be the reason why the green eggs are so high right now is because they're not out. And then once they are out, they might basically be as much as the blue and gray eggs, which is a little bit lower. So I think it's almost 2 times the amount that blue and grays are. So
over 2. Yeah.
So
okay, but what if the demand is high enough? It's supply and demand. Okay, and one thing I'll say too about this, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yes.
Okay, that generally speaking is only applies to speculation. So when real world use case comes into play, that's the game changer. That's when we see the 100x's. That's when Polygon went from a penny to $1 pretty quick, and then on up to $2.83. That the difference between a speculative move of what it could be, and then when the news hits, it's still speculative at that point. Versus if we actually need the pets for what we're doing in the game, because it helps us level our heroes faster, and then we can use a power up and do different things, and there's a real, even conservative demand that, okay, but here's, so if only 25% of the green eggs are hatched in the first week, okay, that means, yes, fewer tiers will be burned, but that also means that over time, when I say it's going to take a while to shake out Wowee, I'm kind of responding to you here. It's going to take a while to shake out, because depending on how hard the demand is for the pets, for our heroes, and the incentive to have the pets, that's so key. Depending on how hard that demand is. But let's just say the demand was Mars. Let's just say pets turn out being mind-blowing. And let's just say 75% of all these eggs get hatched up, which pretty much burns all the tiers out of existence. Okay, let's just say that happens. We still have 20 to 30 to 40% of the heroes out there conservatively that don't have a pet. So what's going to happen is we're going to get more rewards from the quest. Even in that scenario, in the uber bullish scenario, it's still going to take, if it's really worth having the pet, that strong. Now, that's an exaggeration. I don't think 75% is really pushing it. Okay, but let's just say that happened. Yes, we're going to get a ton more tiers coming into the game hard.
All right, question.
The inflow of new tiers will come, but we still got to have summoning, dark summoning, and more eggs, more pets to deal with the heroes. Go.
All right, so now, so I can see that, but with the way the DFK ecosystem is right now, how depleted it is in terms of liquidity, do you think that everybody is going to be willing to spend the money it takes to hatch the tiers and the eggs first? And also, right, do you think that Profession 10 level quests and egg pet utility as well as green eggs are all coming out at the same time? Because I think if they don't come out at the same time, and if the green egg hatching comes out first, I think less people will opt in, you know what I'm saying, to just still stay away from it until actually pet utility comes out.
Yeah, Hubert did say in the AMA that Profession, the Profession 10 level quests and the green eggs will come at the same time.
Okay. I'm
assuming that means pet utility as well.
Yeah,
but you're right.
If pet utility doesn't come, then I think that maybe it might be lower might be less people hatching the pets.
I won't. Yes, if the pet utility isn't there, I'll probably be selling and then looking for a rebuy entry.
And if you're going to do that, that means more people are probably going to do that as well.
Right. Now, I'll still have some, but I'll be like, whoa, because there will be that spike. I'll be absolutely shocked if it doesn't at least go up to 3 cents. I mean, we've already seen it go up to 2.4, almost 2.5 cents, okay, a few months ago. So when the green egg hatching comes, even if without the pet utility, I'll think it'll go well over 2 cents. And then, yes, I'll be hatching some, but I'll be selling at that point and waiting for rebuy entry, just like I've been doing some here recently. And then, so.
Also.
Okay, go.
All right, real quick. And I don't know if, remember that conversation that people were having? It was when tiers were around all-time highs, and Bolon was talking in the chat, and Huber was talking in the chat about tiers, and people were complaining and saying that they're too high and how jobbers are too profitable and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Do you think that is like weighing on them to basically make it so profession 10 level quests have increased tier rewards, so to just get less complaints off their back? Because I don't know, I've noticed that the team, it's funny that people always complain about what the team does, but they do a lot of things to get the complainers to stop complaining. Like if you, so I've noticed that. So do you think that they will opt in to actually boost the rewards of tiers just to help people to stop complaining?
Yes, I do think that the rewards for tiers are going to be pretty rich with pets, profession 10 level questing, and a pet / tier type level up. So to answer your question, you said, do you think people will really want to pay to hatch the eggs? It totally depends on the return you get from the hero, from the pet. So where do you pay? Like Brown Gent, I think, was thrown out there like $20 to hatch an egg. Where do you pay that kind of money to hatch the egg? Well, if the return, there's going to be some kind of threshold. If I can make $20 on that pet every month, is it worth it? If the answer is no, how about if I make it, or we can start with a year. If I can make $20 on that pet per year, is it worth paying $20 to hatch? And then $50. It doesn't even matter what the price is. If it's $100 to hatch the egg, how much can I make that back in a year? And is that good enough to pay $100 to hatch? The answer is no. Okay. A lot of people will be selling. What if every 6 months I can? The answer is no. But what if then you realize you can make $100 on that pet every month? Will you pay $100 to hatch it? You might have to think. If the answer is still no, what if you can make it every 14 days? What if you can make it every 7 days to have that pet? Then the answer is yes, I would pay the money, to pay the extra money to hatch it. What if I can make it every day, $100 a day, if I just pay $100 to hatch this pet? You know, anybody's going to do that. So that's like where the supply and demand tug and pull happens. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in this avalanche that's going to come, the sentiment. In a bear market, the sentiment, like people don't realize, even ourselves sometimes, we don't even realize it in ourselves, how it literally changes the endorphins in our brain. And we all of a sudden get excited. And it's like a momentum thing. So, and that's a lot different when it's rumors and news, okay, versus the real world finally comes to DFK that we've been waiting on for over a year. Oh, baby. Okay, and then that's what will bring a lot of people back. That's how the word gets spread. Anytime anything does 10x, everybody's going to talk about it. Okay, if something does 10x, you hear about it. That's how Shiba Inu got big and all the, the different things. And it's like a momentum thing that happens. So, okay. Anything else? What do you think? So my thoughts, Wowee, to respond is that, yes, I do believe there's going to be a big upgrade in tiers if we get the pets and the potential power up. I think that's where it's going to be a game changer. So then eventually, yes, it will shake out eventually to where now the tiers, because we're up to 19 million tiers still. So we're still sitting at about 19 million tiers. That hasn't really changed. It's kind of been staying flat. Okay. But that's gone up. It was like 15 or 16 million.
That actually brings up a question for me.
Okay.
Do you think that there's ever going to be a scenario where it would be less expensive to buy an army of jobbers to farm tiers than it would be to just buy the tiers outright?
That's a good question.
So for people who say the demand on tiers is so high, the price is so high, it's more beneficial to me to just farm my own tiers and wait the week or two to get the 200 to hatch my eggs.
That's right. So what's that going to do to the floor price of heroes?
Exactly.
What's that going to do to the summoning of heroes?
Probably slow it down even more.
No, we're going to want more heroes, so we'll do more summoning.
True. So yeah, we'll do more summoning, but those will also take tiers.
As the floor price of tiers goes up, I mean, of heroes go up, and we've seen this before where the floor goes so high where it's like, don't buy heroes, just summon. Okay, and then we see the floor price come back down some, and it kind of flattens out. It's like this tug and pull with all these mechanisms in the game. That's kind of what I'm saying. It first starts and hinges on real demand for pets. If that's really strong, okay, then the floor price of pets goes out the roof. Then it's like, okay, we need to hatch. Well, if all these eggs are getting hatched, we don't got enough tiers in existence to do it. Okay. And so then what happens? Then the price of tiers comes up. Then what happens? Well, we want more heroes now. We don't want to buy the tiers. We want to buy the heroes. What's that? What happens? The price of heroes come up. Okay. And then we're going to want, if the demand for pets is good, we're going to want pets for those new heroes that we're getting. And then it'll get us more tiers. Okay. So that's the start of all this. So then people say, yeah. And then we're going to have a lot more tiers coming into existence. But just to shake that out will take a long time because we still aren't going to have enough. So I think the number of tiers will be cut in half at least. We're going to go from 19 million tiers in existence to 9 million tiers in existence. And then it might even go down to 5 million tiers in existence, as long as the demand for the pets are there. And that might keep going down. So then, but then at some point, there'll be an equilibrium where we're getting way more tiers flowing into the ecosystem because of the additional heroes that are summoned, all the pets that are hatched, getting more tiers, the power-ups that are getting more tiers and items, okay? And when that happens, okay, it's a tug and pull, but we're still going to have a ways to go to get to hatch the rest of the eggs with the tiers. And at the same time, we've also got PvP coming. So stamina potions, tiers that we're talking about, all the items in PvP, right? So we want those stamina vials. We want the health vials, the magic resistance potions, all those take tiers. Then eventually we're going to have crafting. That's going to take tiers. Okay. And so when I say it's going to take a while to shake out, and that's not, in my mind, even accounting for brand new players that have never played DFK. I'm talking about the existing player base we have and pre-existing player bases that have gotten disillusioned and then start coming back into the game. And as the word spreads, okay, and more brand new players keep coming into the game, okay, that's where it's like blow off top. My brain can't wrap my mind around it because also with the liquidity, everybody's going to be pulling their tiers out of liquidity to use them if the pets are worth having. baby.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's going to be a very circular economy, and I think the throttle is going to be in tier demand for sure, which is probably what they found. Like they discovered that most likely. They're like, oh, geez, we really shouldn't be handing these out like we are. We need to take this and decrease it by what was it, 80%? We're getting like 1/5 of what we were in the very beginning.
Yep, that was big brains, and it took months for that to shake out to where the demand for tiers came, and most of us didn't even realize it.
It came after dark summoning.
The price increase, yeah, that's true.
Right after dark summoning.
Yep. And it was starting to build already before we even realized it. So
I can't wait for pet dark summoning to catch back on again, because I've been talking to a couple people that didn't know that they can trade in 2 of their pets for an egg.
Yes, that's
Like
right.
Nobody's been talking about that for a long time.
That's
it's
right.
Because it's not the pets. It's cheaper to floor them. So before it was better if you toss them back in.
Right.
But then right now it's like it's you get more for flooring them than you do for tossing them back in. But before that's what a lot of us used to do. We used to just toss it back into and get a new egg and then hatch the new egg.
That's right. Because one egg
was so expensive. It was like $25.
Or
I think when we get pet utility, we're gonna see prices like that again.
I do. So eggs, I've been buying up a bunch of blue and gray eggs, and I'm not selling hardly any eggs unless there's a big reason why I need to for some reason. So I think the value of the eggs will come back up to where it might be worth it at times to burn 2 pets to get another egg. But eggs right now, I mean, I bought some blue eggs when they hit 39 cents. Some of those.
You think it's worth it to LP eggs?
Oh yeah. So I can tell you this: when you look at the number of green eggs and golden eggs that I have, look at this. Look at this. I've got 131 golden eggs. Damn. I can tell you, I probably only bought like 60 of them. All the rest I got was from liquidity rewards, people dumping golden eggs. And on the green egg side, this amount in this wallet, it started out originally with like 60 some green eggs and a little, I mean, most of the rest of this 100 green eggs in here was all from liquidity. The yellow eggs, I've only ever gotten probably 60 or 70 yellow eggs. And I had these in liquidity just sitting in there, not even paying attention for months. Yeah. For like 6 months, probably. And I've doubled my egg bag.
Dang, that's a really good idea. Because I'm thinking about ways to onboard new players like way in the future, right? When we've got a full game, we've got a PvE to like play around every day. Like what, like a year and a half, 2 years from now, maybe 3 years from now. Something that might be able to be done from the very get-go would be LPing and just stacking those rewards over time as you play the game.
That's right. That's right. This was some of the most mind-blowing things for me when I saw my LP for the eggs. But the problem was in a lot of that, over that time, I was losing value in Jewel. So it's not like I was making a ton of money, but I eventually needed the Jewel for power-ups and different things and just putting it in the jeweler. So I unstaked them and I'm just hanging on to these because just like what you said, I sure hope the demand for the pets is real, you know?
The thing about pets is like it's the demand is going to be there for XP and for serious players. That's the only thing you kind of have to worry about. Is the average Joe going to really want a pet when he's just questing and he's like, okay, let's say what, you get 10% XP for a common. let's say an uncommon gets you like 15, maybe 20. A rare gets you like what, 25 to 30, whatever. If we're going like that, let's say it's a little bit more widespread.
Yeah.
If is the average, because you have to think I know some people that have like decently sized wallets and they don't even have the 15% power up XP power up yet.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
So it's like, if there's people with decently sized wallets that were thinking, oh, that 15% XP power up is not worth it. If pets come out and the average pet is like 25% XP, is the average Joe gonna spend that much money to put it on his 30 heroes that he has? And then that's like the counter argument to the I know I'm gonna have, you know what I'm saying, I know I'm gonna put it on all my heroes. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna put it on all my jobbers because I have, you know what I'm saying, I have a jobber wallet that's separate. Maybe I will, depending on how valuable it is.
Right.
But I know for sure it's gonna get my main like 300 heroes. It's for sure getting, you know what I'm saying, those
Yeah.
they're you know what I'm saying, I need like 150 more pets to get my heroes, but to have one for each. But for sure my main heroes are getting them. Now I don't know if my jobbers are going to get them, and I don't know how everybody else is going to feel in the ecosystem about that too, because there's a lot of people now that they have common jobbers, right? And a lot of people, they don't really care about those because they, you know what I'm saying, they just use them for questing and stuff like that. But I know for sure that XP is a valuable thing in this game, right? It's the biggest thing in this game. If you just go straight from 1 to level 20 from scratch with no XP boosting, it's like a 2-year bid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So just if you add the power up, that's 15% XP. Then let's say a rare pet is like 25. Let's say a rare pet is 30% XP. It's almost 50% extra XP you're gonna get. That basically cuts the 2-year bid down to 1 year with those two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a big difference. That's 365 days if you think, you know what I'm saying? So I think XP is very valuable in this game. So like any above, like any player that plays this game every single day is gonna definitely want to have like a pet that I would say rare or better, because in terms of XP, if the XP is like worth it to be like anywhere around the 25+% mark, but anything under that, I don't know how many people are going to value it, because I value the power up, the 15% power up a lot. And
a lot. Yeah.
There's people that don't even have it yet, or they don't value it. They're looking at it like there's not much XP. But I think that's, you know what I'm saying, I think that's a lot. So
yeah.
So that's something to think about too.
Right. That's definitely good point. You're making awesome points. What do you think of those points, Wowee?
Not that I think he's dead on. Like, I completely and utterly agree with every single point you've brought up.
Yeah, because it all depends on it's just going to be a money question. Is it worth having that pet with your jobbers? And if we find out that it is worth having,
from what I've heard, I know I said this I said this the other day, but from what I heard, the value you receive depends on the level of the hero.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe there was like I can't remember where I heard this from, but I feel like I heard this from an AMA when Hubert was talking. But the common 1-star pets are going to they're not going to give as many rewards as it costs to feed them until you have that pet equipped on a level 20 or above hero.
Oh, wait. Say that again.
So the way I heard it was, however much it takes to feed a pet, you're not going to get as many rewards from it as it would take to feed it until that pet is equipped on a level 20 plus hero.
And you really?
That's for the common, right?
Yeah, for the 1-star common pet, you're not going to get the token value out of it as it would take to feed the pet until you place it on a level 20 plus hero.
See, I heard him say, has anyone else heard that? Where did you hear that? Here's what I heard him say. A level 1 common hero it might not pay off to have a common 1-star pet. You might not get enough rewards to make it worth feeding that pet, but he said that at level 1. I don't ever recall hearing him say it won't pay off until level 20.
Yeah, I can't remember, and I mean, I'm gonna have to run back and listen to hours and hours and hours of AMAs now to find it.
I wish
But
they
I remember
titled the
hearing-
AMAs, man.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
I distinctly remember hearing the phrase until around level 20.
Did you hear that from a YouTuber
Hubert.
speculating? From Hubert.
Yeah,
Ooh.
in an AMA.
Has anyone else heard that? Because that
Ooh, quick shout out to Worm. Just got himself a Gen 1 Mythic Thief.
really.
Hell yeah, man. Congrats. Nice little birthday present from
Worm
DFK.
he has a nice Gen 0 syndicate going. He has a
Worm.
Worm. He did he put in a lot of work recently to get like a nice Gen 0 syndicate that actually makes a ton of matches from scratch. I think he goes all the way up to like the Dread Pool. So it goes, I think he has like a Warrior Knight, Archer Thief, and then he has like a Priest, Wizard, and a Monk Pirate. Not to put his business out there, but I know he's been putting in work.
And he does bring up another good point. Level 20 in profession or level 20 as in experience.
That's right.
I don't know. It was not specified. All I heard was level 20 hero.
Surely that would be, if he said that, I think it would have to be level 20, like profession stat 20.
I mean, that would make sense. I feel like either way that would make sense, because I don't know, what if pet utility is based off of the level of the hero that it's equipped to? I could see that, but I could also see profession level.
Well, he kind of hit on this, having a 1-star questing bonus. What did he say? Do you guys remember? He kind of gave us, it does like a roll, and it helps add to your questing bonus.
Yeah, it gives you item drop rate better.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, would you if the pets gave you nothing but experience,
Net.
would you still value it as high?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It depends on how many quests it takes to equal a stamina pop, but that would be exactly how you could equate value.
Yeah.
Okay, so if so if a rare pet gave you a rare pet right now, how much is it in the tavern? Let me go see this real quick.
Okay.
Marketplace, buy pets. Okay, catalog for sale.
Because everything hinges on this discussion we're having now. It is right now, as far as the economy of the game, this is the most important conversation we're going to have for a while.
All right, so rare pet is 50 crystal, right? If a rare pet gave you 25% extra experience, I think that is valuable. But
that's exactly what I'm thinking too, because I remember hearing in that same AMA Hubert talking about like the XP boosts from mythics are going to be pretty substantial.
Yeah,
and we're probably going to be seeing something along the lines of like a 20% XP boost to a 30% XP boost from common pets.
Yeah, I think I would say like around 10 to 15 for common. I think it's gonna, because he said the mythic is gonna be anywhere from 50 to 90.
I thought it was 70 to 90.
Oh, 70 to 90?
70 even to like 95. And then a legendary.
Okay. I know 90 was the cap. I know whatever. I don't know what the beginning was, but it was definitely 90.
Okay.
And he said it was a roll anywhere between then, and then he gave like a list.
That's right. It was rolls. It was variable.
So a mythic, you might have a mythic pet and it might not have the high XP roll. So that's another thing. Like there's gonna be mythics that are better than other mythics because they might not have the higher or it might be rolled per quest or something. That might be it. That might be what it is. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He might be rolled per quest. I don't know if
Roll
it's going to
per
be rolled.
quest, I think, is that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but
That would make pets more balanced, I think.
Yeah, and so it's two separate things. The rarity of the pet is purely XP only. The star, in questing, a 1-star gives you extra potential chance to get more
rewards,
bonus loot, like tiers. But then having a 2-star, it's substantially better. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
And then having a 3-star mythic bonus is massively huge on the questing bonus. So having a mythic hero with a 3-star questing bonus, you're getting probably close to triple the XP potentially that you would otherwise without the pet, because you're also gaining XP by getting more items. So the more items you get, the more XP you get. So that's why he said on a common pet with 1 star, though it won't benefit a level 1 hero, is what I know he said that for sure. Potentially, as far as you may not, by adding the pet, you might not get enough additional items to feed it to make it even worth it, but you will still be getting additional items. So he did say it's going to be an XP boost. So that's a great thought, though, Aphectz. Because, yeah, if it's 10 to 20 XP boost, counting the items you're getting, is it going to be worth having a common 1-star pet even on a common hero?
I mean, honestly, hot take, all I'm seeing are thieves being the best job class in the game, especially with pets.
Why do you say that?
Because if you've got your thief that's already got really good luck scaling, and you're pumping luck like crazy, and you got a luck stone on them, and you're just like going all over the place, luck increases drop rate, and with a pet, it'll also give you an XP boost or even potentially increase drop rate as well. So you're probably looking at thieves taking home double or triple whatever anyone else would be taking home in any given profession.
As well as, I don't know about you guys, but thieves seem to always give me eggs. They are so glitched. Archer, foragers, and thief fishers, for some reason, I know it's because they're really good at their profession, but it's just something about those classes seems just,
so many more blue eggs.
Yeah, it's so many more blue eggs and so many more gray eggs from those two classes. I don't know. Thief fishers just give you so many blue eggs. It's just
right.
It's just something about those thieves, man. Those thief fishers. I don't know
it's
what it is.
It's that cranked out luck, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the other really intriguing thing is about attaching a ninja miner to a blue pet, send him fishing. That's an interesting thought. I think a lot of us will be wanting to do, right? What do you think?
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of fishing pets go on a bunch of thieves just to allow them to fish.
Yeah, that's a potential thing. My main heroes, I pretty much I do training quests on them just so I can get them as highest level as fast as possible, and then my jobbers pretty much all do professions. But like any hero that's probably like past like level 7, 8, I pretty much only do training quests on them now, and I just use my jobbers for professions. That's what I kind of do now since profession level 10 quests aren't out. And I don't know if I'll switch that for my heroes that are like over level 10, because right now the profession quest versus the training quest, when you have like a high level hero that's like level 10 or 11 that has like a 40 or 30 plus in the stat, you just get way more compared to the profession Like if you have a hero that's like level 10 doing profession versus a hero that's doing all training, you level up so much faster on that one that's doing training. That's what I've noticed just in my wallet. Like I'll have like my Dark Knight that's 40 strength just cranking out training quests versus another Dark Knight that's a foraging, and he's not getting nearly the same amount of XP. Like one is leveling way faster. So I'm just personally kind of I value the pets when they come out just because I'm kind of bullish on XP because I want to be as high as possible when PvP comes out. I do not want to basically I think if the first iteration of PvP is similar to like the first iteration of Duels Season 0, where it was like it was kind of a free-for-all, right? And if it gets to a certain point where like after you get to a certain matchmaking rating or whatever, and it's pretty much a free-for-all, you want to be as high as possible, because if you're still like stuck in the level 12s and 11s area and you're going against people's level 18s, 19s, 20s, 17s, those extra 4 or 5 levels is a big difference in terms of HP. So I want to kind of be as close as possible with that. And that's why I kind of do training quests a lot. I would recommend out there, if you don't need the crystal and you don't need the loot, try to opt for training quests and just see how much XP you're actually getting per day versus the professions, and you'll realize you're going to level up a lot faster doing training quests.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Crypto Baby H. Give me a translation. 4-page document. If you can summarize.
We got to write up a dissertation
here. She just sent this, and he breaks it down. I was trying to skim to find. So 20 times more rare possibility of getting an ultra. Okay. Yeah. I remember him talking about that. Yeah. That was a big alpha AMA. Okay. So what advantage will a mythic 3-star pet versus a rare 3-star pet? So I'm assuming if we are talking profession bonuses and the 3-star pet profession bonus or combat or any of those. So there's either 1, 2, or 3 bonuses. I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. Okay. Where was I? So there's either 1 or 2 or 3 bonuses for each of those types, regardless of rarity. So yeah, the pet that got each of those to access to the same pool of abilities and chances of getting any of those are not modified. Right. So having a 3-star rare versus a 3-star mythic won't matter as far as the increase of loot. Chance of getting any of those are not modified at all based on the rarity of the pet you have. However, the pet itself, just by virtue of its rarity, does grant better XP bonus. By having it equipped and fed, so a rare versus a mythic, I think is almost a 50% increase in comparison to the two, and how much XP that you can gain from a bonus just having it equipped, and that is regardless of what bonus to actually has on it. So in addition to whatever bonus it has on it, it might also have an XP bonus, so you get even more XP above and beyond like what the bonus itself is. Okay. What is the range for a 1-star versus a 2-star versus a 3-star? It's not a fixed number. We had to balance these bonuses out based on their the value using analysis. So something might scale between 5 to 10, 20 to 30, and 40 to 60. Another one might be completely different range. Yeah, so each star, he did say this, each star will have its own variance of bonuses that hits. Out of like each star, I think there's 12 different types of bonuses within each star. And a certain number of bonuses can hit within each star that you're getting. Does that make sense?
There's a ton going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on under the hood. It's not a hard and fast thing, so I can't say, but I can say in general, you can expect close to about maybe a 4x improvement between a 1-star and a 3-star in general. Okay. So a 3-star might have between a 70% and a 90% improvement. That might be what you were thinking, Aphectz.
Yeah.
The 3-star between 70 and 90% improvement on something, and that is randomly decided when the bonus is decided. So even within when you compare two mythic pets that happen to end up with the same XP bonus, one might have a 70% XP bonus, the other has a 90% XP bonus. I think that he's talking about on the rarity bonus. Okay. There.
Oh, he does mention that the heroes are fixed, because I think you and Raph were talking about if heroes would level up. He mentions that heroes are fixed right here.
Okay, where?
At the last two sentences.
It will cause.
No.
Okay. Oh, on this paragraph, because unlike heroes that level up and not pets, that's right. Pets don't level up, but isn't there some kind of growth process to the baby pets? I know pets don't have levels like heroes do.
I don't know. Maybe that's a lore thing, but everything is subject to change in this game. So,
So I meant to say that earlier with Raph. Like pets don't have levels. We know that.
Yeah, they'll be scaling with whoever you equip them to.
So
an amplifier, if you will.
And so, okay.
But the feeding could be something, what I'm saying, along those lines too.
Right. So how much
it could get weaker and stronger in the roles. That's kind of what he did mention, I think, was that when a pet is not fed, it doesn't get the rewards. So
yeah. Okay. All right. So that's going to be the biggest question of all. Again, is it actual dollar value worth having a common 1-star pet with a level 5 hero? Common level 5 hero. Is it going to be worth, if not, will it be worth it on a level 7 hero or a level 9 hero or a level 10 hero? But we know even at a level 1 common hero, getting a 1-star common pet will still help the XP.
Right, no matter what.
No matter what. So there's so much in this ecosystem that literally hinges on this. And this is where it would be nice to have the team talking about this like every day. If there was a guy out there streaming who had access to Hubert on a regular, where we could be hashing this stuff out and PvP type questions. So anything else on this value of pets and ecosystem? Because when I talk about value of tiers, it hinges on the level of pets. I mean, the value, the real world economy, in-game value of having a pet.
Honestly, I think we pretty much touched everything here.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's get to what we really wanted to get to here, baby. Have you made any changes to the ability and I still prefer to call these abilities and the hero skills, but that's
I got you
out there, So when I'm talking about this, I call the hero specific skills, I call those skills because the white paper says that these, even on the back of the hero card, it says ability genes, I think.
Oh yeah, I call everything abilities, honestly.
Yeah.
To differentiate it, I usually call these traits, and then I'll call the hero ones skills. Just
Yeah.
like you.
Right. Okay.
But
So
there
trait-
is one change I've made since the very beginning, besides an update,
Okay.
and that was a change to exhaust.
Is that SSS? Whoa.
Yeah, that got a major update.
Whoa. Dang. Okay. How come?
So it updated its function basically. So you can see on the left of your screen there it says when exhausted the hero can take limited actions. It's every single one of those are affecting a hero when they're exhausted.
Okay. So it's just like it's a basic ability trait, but it's
Advanced.
Oh, it's advanced. Hello.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man.
Yeah. Okay. And then as far as the basic abilities go, we got Death Mark still at SS. We got critical aim at SSS, which is critical aim is still, it could be very well be an advanced ability, would you say?
Oh, easy.
Okay. Speed, you called your words poopy.
Oh yeah, it's super poopy.
But you think it'll be an uptick?
Yeah, I think the least future proof of the traits here is speed. I think that's going to get a rework before anything gets published at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But after consideration, it might be a little underpowered, costs a turn to go first the following 2 rounds, and only if you're not agility contested.
Speed doesn't even have like a basic attack on it, doesn't it? No basic attack on it, right?
Yep, no, nothing at all. It just grants you first strike and your turn is over.
Yeah, that's pretty ass. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it costs 1 turn to go first 2 turns in a row, and it's like, okay, after the first strike ends, that means the entire enemy team gets to go twice before I go again.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So that's probably going to get buffed.
Yeah, that's going to get reworked probably entirely. Like something else has to happen the turn that it's activated,
Okay.
and then granting first strike for something to happen.
Like maybe everybody on the team or something. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
It would make sense if they even if it just had like the deal 1.0 damage or something like that, and then give yourself first strike for a round. Like that would make even that would make it much better than it already is.
Okay. And it looks like here that Iron Skin isn't looking too hot either.
Honestly, I've kind of warmed up to Iron Skin.
Okay.
I'd legit, if I was going through and reevaluating everything, I'd probably bump this up to at least a B.
Okay. Okay.
4 rounds is a long time.
Yeah, it is. You're reducing the physical damage for 4 rounds. I remember being surprised. I thought Iron Skin was good, and Hardened Shield is like very similar to this, right? But
yeah, except it's 30% for 4 rounds. Now, the real big like issue with both Hardened Shield and Iron Skin is it does nothing to magic damage.
Oh. Okay. We know.
Isn't there like no magical defense right now in all of the abilities?
I don't think there is. Don't quote me on that. I want to believe that somebody's got reduced magic damage taken somewhere in their codex, but I don't think they do.
Okay. And then heal, you think that could use a buff? Or
no, I don't necessarily think it needs a buff, but I think like its use case is very still, right? The fact that it can only be used once is its biggest downfall.
Okay. Okay. So Blinding Winds looks pretty dope.
Yeah, Blinding Winds is fantastic. Honestly, I should probably rate that higher.
Okay.
But no, that's probably and S is probably right where it needs to be because it's a basic attack, number one, which means it goes off of accuracy, so it has to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an 80% chance to apply a blind, right? So
Yeah.
there's a 20% chance that it's just a basic attack. But on the 80% chance, that means it now applies a blind and it has to go through your target's effect resistance.
Yeah.
And to actually be applied. But
Yeah.
if you do blind your target, it's super good.
Yeah. But then you got a good chance to do that. And
Yeah.
you're dealing extra damage also.
Yeah, it does the same damage as a basic attack.
Okay. I see. Got it. That makes sense. So blinding winds is dope. Cleanse is dope.
Always bring a cleanse.
Critical aim, dope. Death mark, dope.
Oh yeah, death mark's probably. So from what I've seen right now, there are some team comps that would synergize extremely well with that. I believe Archer's got one for Hunter's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do Hunter's Mark, and I believe a Pirate also has an ability that increases damage dealt to a target.
Okay.
So you could have a lineup of Death Mark, Hunter's Mark, and that Pirate ability, and then the next round your whole team is going to be dealing, almost double damage.
Okay. Nice. So I need to ingrain that in my brain here. Death mark, dope. Critical aim, dope.
Now, I can talk about use case in situationally, right? So Death Mark in particular,
Mm-hmm.
it's much better to have Death Mark on a support unit rather than a DPS unit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is for a DPS unit, you're getting the value out of your attacks every turn, right? So if you've got to spend a turn to debuff and then follow up the next turn with an attack where you could have attacked twice, the 20% doesn't make up for that.
Okay.
So what you would instead want to have happen is your tank or your healer or your buffer debuffer is the one that uses Death Mark while you get 2 attacks in with the bonus.
Okay. Okay. What if for speed, do you think it's possible that they might decide for speed to deal damage to target enemy equal to 1.0 basic?
It would honestly, I'd bump it up to an A at least.
Okay.
If that were the case, it would be a perfectly fine move because it would be basically deal a basic attack and give yourself first strike for 2 rounds. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so they'll probably do something like that. Would be my
2
guess.
rounds is a little crazy though. If it has basic, I think 1 round will be fair because then it might be a little too good. You deal basic and then you get the next 2 turns at the top.
Oh yeah,
of this. That's kind of
Your
nice.
biggest benefit is being able to combo from say you're at the very end of round, right, and you use speed, and with this augment, right, so you use speed, you get a basic attack out, and essentially because you've been put to the front of the turn order, you get to go immediately after that as well and then do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the caveat here is when your first strike ends and you go back to the end of the round, then that entire round has to finish that you started, and then the next round goes and everyone goes again before you do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then, okay, so the top current abilities are critical aim, then death mark, then cleanse, and then blinding winds.
Oh yeah. So again, you got to remember that these have their use cases. So
right,
things like critical aim are really good on your DPS units because that it's better than 20% damage, next turn at the cost of 1 now, right?
Right.
So critical aim is, or critical strike, whatever it is extremely good on DPS units and healers, because we learned that heals can crit.
Yeah.
So you could set up a crit heal with that pretty easily. However, on your tanks or your supports that don't deal damage, it's basically useless.
Yeah. Poison Blade seems pretty good to me, but you're saying not as much.
It's because of its positioning, right? So Poison Blade, it does last until cleansed, which is super cool. But again, the chance to apply it, right? So number one, it's a physical ability, so it has to go through accuracy. So if it gets evaded, no poison. So it has to hit, and then it has to pass the 20% chance to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll apply to the target. Then it has to go through effect resistance on the target in order to be applied. And then after it is applied, the following round is when it starts taking 2% of its max HP.
Mm-hmm.
So the ramp up, it takes so long for it to actually really start affecting you. And it's countered by so many different things in the game already.
Right.
So it's countered by evasion. It's countered by high endurance. It's directly countered by cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's just so much going on for it. I mean, you could say the same thing for Blinding Winds, but Blinding Winds actually pairs up with evasion tanking. So it gets rated higher based on that synergy.
Okay. I could see that turning out, Poison Blade turning out good, pretty good, if they do it right.
Oh yeah, if it's done right, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly, B doesn't mean bad. B means it's a perfectly fine. It's just less useful more of the time,
right,
than your other choices.
That's right. Okay, and then we got Exhaust.
Exhaust got bumped up.
BigTimeBomb.com.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, there's just so many things that happen with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not. It doesn't skip your turn like stun does. There's been a really nice differentiation given to us. But it locks you at only being able to use certain actions. So you can basic attack, but its damage is reduced by 50%, right?
Yep.
So you've effectively, it's a better silence now, right? So where silence makes it so you can't cast spells, this one makes it so you can't cast any abilities whatsoever. You can only basic attack, and it's at a 50% damage reduction.
Wow.
But then on top of that, you're slowed by 50%. And this cannot be cleansed.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy good.
Okay. That's great. Okay, I love it. Okay, and then we got, sorry, this is kind of a pain. Exhaust. I need to probably zoom out, back out one. Okay, days. Deal damage to enemy target, and then it's 100% chance to daze the target enemy.
Yes. So days, we don't actually know what's going to have.
Okay.
What's going to happen with days? I feel this is probably the second place for the least future proof.
Okay.
This is probably going to go through a rework as well.
Okay. Got it. Explosion looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, explosion's great. It only does 1.0 times basic, so it's just a basic attack basically.
Yeah.
And then you deal that damage to everybody after you deal that damage. So it's basically the way you want to think about it. The way it's written right now, anyway, is it is a basic attack, and then it's a basic attack on everybody. So that's it's essentially awesome. 4 basic attacks.
That seems 4 basic attacks or 3.
4. So the way it says is this attack explodes for 100% damage dealt, dealing damage to all enemies. So you pick one person to basic attack, and then they get hit again a second time.
So all 3 get hit with the explosion.
Right.
So it's double damage to the one guy you hit, and then it's a basic attack to the other 2. That's cool. And then Hardened Shield, which is like Iron Skin. You said that's kind of growing on you.
Yeah, it's growing on me more and more. 4 rounds is a long time.
Yeah.
And 30% damage reduction is a ton, especially with all of the extra damage reduction that we've seen from the codices.
I mean, that is a ton. That seems like a pretty dope, especially if you have like double hardened shield.
Oh yeah, no, it's really good. It's growing on me pretty dang hard.
Okay, effects. That's all the active, basic, and advanced. Any other thoughts?
No, you guys.
Okay. You just relax in bed and chill. If you've got any,
I'm chilling.
We got effects still right there, ready to chime in. I love it. Okay, that's perfect. I love it when you can just relax. You need to just get on your phone, stream. I don't know, does StreamYard work on the phone? If it does, lay there in bed and chill, baby. Okay, deal damage. So stun is your top active ability, right?
Stun is the most useful most of the time.
Okay.
Stun can be put on anybody and be useful. And it's
just
a little
100%.
less useful on DPS units, but it's still useful.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. DPS means damage.
Damage per second.
Per second. Okay.
I guess we're gonna have to change that to probably DPR now, damage per round.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then second wind is also dope. Is it worthy of only one S?
In use case, yes.
Okay.
And this is only really because it's based on the value you gain out of it is based on how much HP you have. And the amount of HP you have is pretty much going to be dictated by your class, right? Yeah. Like you can pump vitality all you want, but the HP rolls are really in favor of certain classes specifically. Like paladins, for example, get ridiculous HP scaling.
Right.
This is really good on paladins.
Paladins, dread knights, knights, warriors, dark knights.
But if you've got second wind, say on a seer, which has, I think, is tied for the lowest HP growth in the game, then you're getting nowhere near as much value out of it.
Right, but even on a seer, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, on a self heal of 50% is never really truly bad unless you're getting unless the damage is so substantial against you that it's more than the 50% that it gets healed.
Right, and then your other two teammates get healed 75% of that, but that makes sense. The more HP your hero has, the more valuable this becomes.
Yeah, this is perfect to put on any front line like a knight or a paladin or a dark knight.
And then it's like Wowee. It's
it's better.
Better than Resurrection in some scenarios.
In honestly a lot of scenarios. Resurrection, I know people have heard me say I've taken the hot seat for this one.
You've taken some heat on this one, baby. Even though you're saying this is still a dope ass ability.
Yeah, it's still good. It's always going to be good no matter what. It's awesome. It's going to be great. But on damage dealing units, this is borderline useless, if not detrimental. Because what happens with Resurrection is, since all of the information about your heroes is visible in PvP, everyone's going to see that your DPS unit in the middle there has Resurrection on it. And that's immediately going to paint a target on that DPS's back, specifically because
you want to kill that guy first.
Exactly. You can't use Resurrection until somebody on your team is dead. And if the person on your team that's dead has Resurrection, it means nothing. It's useless.
Yeah. And so the damage dealers, such as archers.
Right.
Okay. And so you got to use a turn instead of hitting them with damage. But if your paladin dies before the archer, or something like that.
Right. That's one of those cases where it's like, this is really good time to use this.
Yeah. That's where this comes in super dope. But maybe what could they do to buff this, to make it Wowee?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Because the exhaust is kind of necessary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure what they could do with this one.
Okay, so it's probably not going to get changed.
Yeah, it seems pretty future proof to me, honestly.
What do you think of that effects? That's the controversial one.
Second Life is just better. I mean, that's the only thing. It's a good ability. It's just that Second Life is just better, and the fact that it's kind of they both take the same amount of work to get. So it's like you might as well, when you're building your heroes out, you might as well just go for Second Life.
iOS code cracks me up in the same way Sergeant Filthy McNasty cracks me up.
Oh yeah, he's so right too.
Right.
Like, Cool sent me that. Like as soon as he summoned it, he's like, "So what do you think about this?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing's incredible."
And then Bader hit, or Batar or whatever. He was the bomb dude, by the way. I love that guy. Shout out to Batar Bader. Okay, he hit a double. I think he hit a resurrection and a second life, and then also hit an elite, like
wow,
second wind or something.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Like, good Lord. Okay. All right. Okay, so real quick, let's go through these. Duelist can be great for paladins, knights, dark knights, dread knights.
I mean, yeah, it's that word can be good. That's got a lot of weight because in order to be fighting 1v1, that means you not only have to be the last one standing on your team, but you also have had to kill 2 people on their team as well. So 95% of the fight, you're not going to be getting this bonus, and then most of the time, hopefully, you're not dying within the first 2 deaths on the team.
Yeah, right. And maybe they could, since that's the case, maybe they could make it a little sexier, like 30%.
Yeah, this one's going to need a substantial buff for sure.
You should be taking notes on, you need to get in there on the DFK Discord PvP section.
On the suggestions I have to fix these.
Yeah, because this is so important to so many of us trying to go for these abilities, you know?
Right.
And so there needs to be some attention, put on this. So Clutch, I think, is also pretty awesome.
Yes. But again, it's the situation that you're going to find yourself in most of the time. Right? So I gave Clutch a B because if you're below 30% health by accident, that's a bad thing and it's a bad time. And your tanks, you aren't going to get as much value out of this as your DPS are. Your healers are going to get basically no help from this, right? Your supports are going to get no help from this because they're not dealing damage anyway to begin with.
But it's good for tanks because they live longer, right?
It is better for tanks. So for healers and supports, it's not that great. Right. For tanks, it's a little bit better, and for damage dealers, this is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
My
and
favorite,
even like for a priest when he's using his, what's that move the priest has got where it's like a holy wrath or something?
Oh yeah, the spell.
Yeah,
the holy wrath. Yeah, that's really good.
That's pretty good if the priest is below 30%.
Yeah, if you built a damage priest,
right, which you obviously would with
if you've got Clutch. Now in a world where Clutch is actually like top tier. Right, there is a situation in which I would give Clutch a Wowee rating. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you've got double Clutch and you've got a Berserker, for instance,
oh baby,
and that living rage where you set your HP to 1 and then you can't die for multiple turns, you just gave yourself a 60% damage boost.
You're like turning me on right now. Hot baby. Okay, and these are basic abilities. See, we're going to be able to compete still.
Yeah, there's a ton of budget builds that are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Foresight is dope.
Foresight is probably my favorite basic ability out there, basic trait out there.
Really?
Oh yeah. If I love evasion. I love evasion. I love mischance. Damage reduction is cool, but why take some of something when I can take none of everything?
Right.
Man, after combat testing, evasion is crazy.
Oh yeah, it is out. It's
Yeah, it is.
so good.
Because we're in
Dexterity is so important. It's not even funny.
We were talking about that the other day on the edge of at the end of Sergeant Filthy Manassi show. Like,
Yeah,
it's right now. It's so punishing missing. Like it's when you miss a move. It's drastically punishing. I can only imagine. I can only imagine how many people are gonna get mad at the way PvP is played with the RNG that goes into missing something. Imagine having, like, let's say 70%. You could literally miss that like 5 times in a row.
yeah, that's 100% true.
It's like, good luck. You built up a crazy amount of mythic dreads, and then you just keep missing.
Yeah,
I was about to beat the record on your record effects on Cujo's bounty right now. I was just about to beat it, and I missed the last attack. I was like, no, the priest literally got like 60 HP left. This is terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And so Days, we need more detail on what Days is, right?
Yeah, I think Days is going to get reworked because moving you to the end of the round, I think is a little light for what it's going to be when we're getting closer to launch. But Headstrong is actually a really, really, really good passive because of how popular Days is. You see Days all over the place.
Yeah, baby.
It's everywhere. You see it in archers, you see it in pirates, you see it in seers. You just see it all over the place. Days is everywhere. So having Headstrong will help you out a lot in the long run.
Okay. Clear Vision is looking pretty dope.
This is for anti-evasion right here. I give it an A, where I give standard gave B to every one of the resistances, but I mean the resistances are really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But Clear Vision's a little bit better because blind is so like ridiculously good.
Right.
That having a resistance to it is really good.
Is really good. And so double Clear Vision is especially good. Because now you got a double. It's like, doesn't that increase that to 80%?
Oh yeah, increases it to 80%.
Yeah, baby.
And I just want to point this out too, because we were talking about O'Cool's Resurrect Double Second Life monster. He just sent me another one. He just now pulled something incredible. It's got double second life, and it's a legendary summoner ninja with a greater insight stone. I don't know how he keeps pulling this crap off.
What did he do again? Say that again.
Insane. It's a legendary summoner ninja with double second life with a greater insight stone. I don't know how he's pulling this crap off. And it's got critical aim too. So like, it's just a monster. It's just a monster.
Wow. So Clear Vision and Fearless are both pretty dope. Okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, those are both really good. Fearless is paramount for tanks. Because it can disrupt your positioning.
Yeah.
Because the fear debuff is nasty.
Is nasty. Just like blind might be in Days.
Fear pushes you back one and then makes it so you can't make physical attacks.
Right. So all those are reducing 40% chance to be one's Days, one's blind, and one is fear.
Right.
So what is your response to Skiller's comment here? Effects.
Spellbow should get really good because of Dex. Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Accuracy is so important right now.
Yeah.
At least as far as testing goes right now.
Yep.
And the fact that Spellbow should have magical damage, and magical damage is like the only thing that's like, everything is basically defensive towards physical damage. So Spellbows should have magical damage because their name is Spell, right? They should have a lot of magical damage, hybrid damage in their tree. So that's what I think.
So this is interesting. Basic 4, Basic 5, Basic 6, Basic 7, and Basic 8 for passive abilities are all reduce the chance of by 40%. First is to be affected by daze. Second is to be affected by blind. That's B5 clear vision. Fearless, 40% reduced chance to be affected by fear. Chatterbox, 40% chance to not be affected by silence. And then Stalwart, 40% chance to not be affected by poison. That's and so all those, though they won't always necessarily come into play, can be really super valuable against the right people.
Right. If someone's running a poison team,
yeah,
right, and their whole job is to poison all of your heroes and keep poisoning you.
Thieves,
if you've got
ninjas,
Stalwart, you just counter that entire team right there.
Yeah. So thieves, ninjas, who else poisons?
I think Berserker has a poison on it as well.
Okay. So that's why it's only a B, but it could be an SSS.
Depending on how popular it is, it could go up.
That's right. Now on to the passive advance. Leadership looks dope. Allies deal 5% bonus damage. This bonus cannot exceed 15% team-wide.
Right. So that means out of
multiple
the 6 passive slots, you can only have 3 of those being leadership.
Okay. Got it?
This thing is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So it's a 15% team-wide buff, which means you're getting 15% bonus damage on everybody every time.
Yeah. And we're thinking this for efficient, it needs to be buffed. That could easily be buffed. If it's
it could, but I just don't know how mana usage is going to work.
Okay.
Even in the testing grounds, we still don't have a guesstimation on how mana is being balanced right now. So if things are costing 10% of your mana per turn, and you can only last 10 turns, this will enable you to last 1 additional turn in casting powerful spells. So this would actually be really good.
That needs to be 20%. Probably. But
like I said, I have no idea how mana is going to be
utilized. Since it's advanced, it probably even could be 25%. But we'll see how mana shakes out.
Right, and I'm thinking that mana is going to be a lot like stamina, where it replenishes over time.
We will need mana vials.
Right.
Mana potions. So that's like a mana potion.
I think this is actually going to be a triple S ability in PvE.
Oh.
Like when we're going down dungeons and seeing how far you can get, efficient's going to be the top tier advance.
Yeah. Okay. So then intimidation looks really dope. That's similar to
leadership. It's similar to leadership. And it's really good. Yeah. Everyone just deals 15% less damage on the enemy team.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic.
So intimidation and leadership look to be the top 2 advanced passive abilities.
If you've got triple leadership and triple intimidation, that's an entire team right there. You don't got to worry about much.
Yeah. And so the only thing we know here about Toxic, which I think in Workhorse's mind, he told me that it's the most broken ability. So because it's not 2% chance, that needs to be reworded. He said it's 2% poison. He told me, it's 100% chance. Basically, he said it's 100% chance to give 2% poison for every hit.
Right. So I think he just needs to clarify it. But
then he came back and said there will be a % chance.
Yeah, so it's all about how how it's written. Aphectz, I don't think I've heard your opinions on Toxic yet.
Yeah.
My opinion on Toxic is that it's going to be the most broken thing for PvE, and I think that's why they're because when it first came out, I forgot what was I on Bogside or I was talking about how it's one of those things that they probably don't want to overtune it for PvP because it's
Okay.
probably one of those things that's going to be just for PvE, because if you were to stack like Toxic on like a boss that had like, let's say 100k health or something crazy, then it's just going to just start flying down after a few turns of health, like 10%. Let's say it gets up to 20% of its HP, and then it's like, okay, in what, 5 turns it just dies. That's pretty crazy for like a boss that has like a bunch of health. And you know what I'm saying, potentially, like if it's something that where it's like a group, it's like a guild raid, and it's supposed to take, you know what I'm saying, let's say an hour to complete, but you guys just stack Toxic and then just everybody's trying to apply Toxic to it. And
True.
So
yeah, no, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably do things along the lines of like, you know how like World of Warcraft did it, and how like a bunch of other like
anti-poison boss,
PvP MMOs do it, where they split the effect in PvP and PvE.
Like Giant Slayer.
Right. Yeah, exactly like Giant Slayer, where it does something different in PvE versus PvP. So whereas like for PvE to balance that out, it could probably do like 2%. Right? I mean, honestly, I think like 20% of whatever you deal as poison damage sounds more fair than a stacking like max HP.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, because they did that same thing with Giant Slayer, so I could see that too.
Okay, so I think this has a good chance to turn into an SSS based off what we end up finding out about it.
Oh, 100%. Like it could. I'm already seeing Toxic being like meta teams.
Yep, lots of Toxic in there poisoning them, and that's when let's see, Stalwart will be awesome to have.
Yep. Nope, you're exactly right with that.
Okay. All right, interesting. Okay, Giant Slayer, last stand, second life, go. I need 1 minute refills.
Hey, don't even worry about it,
baby, because
all right, so
these are all dope as heck.
yeah, no, they're all really good. Giant Slayer is fantastic because it's basically clutch that you can have activate earlier, which, I mean, it does run into some problems though. So the more HP you have, right, the harder it's going to be to activate Giant Slayer. But if you've got Giant Slayer on someone that's got like low max HP already, you'll probably have it active most of the time.
This is my favorite ability.
It's so good in the situations where you can like count on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, you have to think about like it's gonna be good, especially if you're just an average Joe Schmo. All right. So, boom. Right. If you're, let's say you have some solid heroes, right? Level 12. You know what I'm saying? Level 13 right now. Let's say when PvP comes out, you get them up to 14, 15. But you're facing level 20s. You know what I'm saying? You're facing the stand-potted guys. They're gonna have more HP than you, because you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're probably not gonna want to spend, you know what I'm saying, if you're average Joe, you're not gonna want to spend the money on the stand pots. So you're gonna be HP, you're gonna have less HP already. Like, so you're kind of gonna have that advantage to where you could come out the gate blasting them for an extra 30% damage, even though you're gonna have the stat disadvantage, but it could give you an extra chance to even beat a group of heroes that are higher level than you. So that's kind of also why I like it too, because it's like it gives you a solid chance to you know what I'm saying, to even give you that extra little bonus damage to even put you over the hump to maybe beat the higher level heroes. But,
yeah, if you're going up against higher level heroes, like you're effectively hitting at 30% above your weight class. For just as an analogy. So I think it's a really good equalizer in that fact, for sure.
Yeah. So, and that, did you say that's your favorite ability, is Giant Slayer?
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Okay. Okay. And then Last Stand is awesome.
Only because it's worded weird too. Like, you can come. So if you have first turn, let's say I have 500 HP and you got 510, I can already do 30% extra on that first, you know what I'm saying, that first turn move. So if I come out hitting hard as hell and I had 2 of them and I can do 60% extra damage, and that if I have double Giant Slayer and I can hit 60% harder on that first turn, even if I never hit you 60% harder the rest of the game, I just blasted 60% extra health off you. Like that's pretty crazy.
That is dope. Yeah, and Last Stand, I remember we were saying they probably should up this to 30% or something to guarantee it being used.
Right. Now, like the way it's worded, you would assume that it's an automatic, like if it brings you below 20% health, it's going to stop you at 20% once, right? But I asked Workhorse very specifically while I was going over these. And I asked him, so I was like, if say I'm at 21% of my max HP, right? And I take a hit that crits and deals 22% of my max HP, does Last Stand activate and stop me from dying? And he said, no, it does not.
Okay, so that needs to be upped.
Right. So well, maybe not upped, but that might be just as exactly intended, right? So that means that this gains way more value on high HP, high defensive units that are typically surviving a chunk of damage from around 20%.
Okay.
Because this will stop them to they'll stop it at 20. So if you've got 20%, if you've got 21% health and they deal 19% of your damage, you're getting stopped at 20%. They're only going to deal 1% of your health.
Oh, I see. Okay. I misunderstood what you said then. Okay. And obviously Second Life is the best one. Okay.
Yes. Second Life. Honestly, I want to put this to, I'm going to put Wowee on Second Life probably.
Okay. I love it. It's going to say Wowee. Okay. So let's try and breeze through this as quick as we can. Okay. We know that Dex is good for everybody. Okay. So we're starting here with the Archer. And I might go ahead and just zoom out a bit. Okay. So with the Archer, what if I've got like, so real world example. Let's look at this Archer I've got. All right. Okay. I've got, this is quick. All right. Hero. Look at this beast Archer. Hang on. Level. Descending. Okay. So we got this Thief, which I need to get some more decks going. 57 luck, 40 agility.
Holy crap.
20 dex, 30 vitality. Okay. All right, but this Archer is level 14 with 48 dex. And look, he's just like super balanced.
Oh my God. This thing's beautiful.
He's an absolute freaking monster.
Have you tried using it in the combat testing grounds?
No. Good question.
Oh man, you would hit
Good
like a
call
truck.
there.
I want to see how much damage that thing does. My best archers are like level 10 potatoes, and they're hitting like 670 at max on the Nightblood with multi-shot. I'd love to see how much this one does.
Mm-hmm. He's like so balanced, except on dex. He's
just cracked out on dex.
48 on dex, which he's great for Fight Club. He's even jacked on intelligence. He's got some luck. He's got agility. Like, look out. He's just 21 or 20 is his lowest stat.
That's crazy nuts. Good.
Yeah. Okay. So back to your sheet. Now my question turns into, so what if this guy, if I threw 10 of this dex onto some other stat, is it worth it, or is it better just to keep going bonkers on the dex?
From what I've experienced, and I think Aphectz would agree with me on this one.
Okay.
From just the combat testing ground, accuracy is so horrifyingly important that there is nothing wrong with stacking as much dex as humanly possible.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Would you say that about all heroes across the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Spellcasters would probably be a little bit less on the list, but only because wisdom and dex go into accuracy for them.
Okay. That's awesome. What's interesting here is intelligence is a big gainer here. So because this guy's a forager, I've gone for intelligence and dex on all these level ups. And that's looks like it's a good call. A good move, right? Based
yeah, for archers, if you're going to go with marksmanship, like that's really good. Because when you get effective luck, what that's doing is increasing your that's increasing your critical strike chance per se.
Okay.
And then all basic attacks gaining pierce. I mean, that's not as good because you're probably not going to be basic attacking as often as you think you're going to be. But if it said all basic attack damage gaining pierce, that would have been better because like Flurry, for example, up at the top, increase effective basic attack damage.
Yeah.
That is entirely different in the equation because as you can see from like if you scroll down to any attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like multi-shot down there, right? So each arrow deals damage equal to X times basic attack. That flurry that says increase effective basic attack damage in combat affects the calculation of that basic.
Okay.
Whereas the marksmanship, all basic attacks gain X% pierce, does not apply.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I would add that if when you're looking at that precision, honestly, I don't know the calculation, but the luck that you get, if the increased luck crit chance that you get from the intelligence multiplier is not better than that precision multiplier you get from dex, it might not be worth it to even go marksmanship and even have that intelligence.
Okay.
You're 100% right about that too.
Yeah, so it depends on, it also depends on that too. So I don't know what the math on that is, but if it's more beneficial to stack the dex, not saying stacking it was the worst thing because obviously the stats all play a role, but it probably could have been more beneficial to stack something else.
Right. This is more of a if you've got intelligence, you can pick this, not a pick this for your intelligence.
Right. So, like in this case, I've got tons of dex and I'm solid on intelligence. Okay.
So it makes it so you have the choice to go marksmanship. But if somebody else had stacked dex and then opted for stacking, let's say,
luck,
vitality or luck,
vitality,
you know what I'm saying, something else, or agility for more evasion instead of stacking the intelligence, they could have done that and then just chose the precision tree and got probably the same amount of critical strike chance that you're getting from that intelligence buff.
Okay.
So
got it. Good to know. Okay. Let's see down here, more dex. So we know dex, it's all about dex. So
for archers, it's all about dex. Everything's
all about freaking dex. Okay, what about vitality compared to dex at low levels when you're trying to level an archer for PvP?
Yes, the philosophy.
Vitality?
Personally, I level every single one of my heroes' vitality first.
Okay.
Except for my thieves, which I level luck first.
Okay.
Every single one of them gets vitality. I think up until level 20, it is by far the most important stat to have raised.
Oh yeah, right.
Just to get that early benefit, that stacking benefit over time for health rolls.
Yeah. Aphectz, do you agree with that?
I'm pretty bullish on vitality. I don't level it first. I always kind of put it on my third one, and I try to put it ever since they released the skill trees and stuff like that. I basically pretty much leveled it third on pretty much every single hero.
Yeah, me too.
Also, so ever since then they released it because the way people kind of had the speculation of how the game was going to go before like the skill trees and stuff like that. People thought it was going to be a different kind of game. Like it was going to like more the DPS heroes were going to be a little bit different. But now it's like you can just see the way that the battle of three is going to take place. HP is really going to start to scale, and you don't want to go against a hero that has like 1,000 HP and you have 500 because
right. So are you on an archer? Are you going to hit vitality first?
Yeah, I hit it third. No, I hit it third.
Third. And
so I go
Dex first.
Yeah, I go like Dex for the most part. Either I have a few archers that are like level like 10 plus, and I have a couple of them with different builds. But for the most part, most of my archers, they're usually high Dex, high strength, and high agility.
Okay,
that's how I had it before. But then I started speccing into HP more, vitality. I used to do specifically Dex, agility, strength, or luck. That's how I used to do it with my archers.
Okay.
Since the skill trees came out, I go like Dex, strength, vit, or Dex, agility, vit, and I rotate strength and agility because I like to have agility on my archers.
Okay. Yeah. And so in Wowee, though, you're saying you go vitality first early on as the guaranteed stat.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I mean, to Aphectz credit, like, yeah, I think he's doing it the more correct way.
Okay.
Especially from what we've seen in the combat grounds. If we're gonna have PvP characters, we don't have enough time to be feeling the effects of early vitality,
right?
Yet. So by like level 20, it's a pretty minuscule amount, but by level 100, it's going to be super huge. Yeah. We're talking like a difference between like a character with 10,000 health and a character with 15,000 health.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine. Can you guys imagine?
No, vitality is. Who did it? Who was it? Mean Machine. Okay, he wrote a blog about HP.
Yeah,
and vitality stacking early on ADFK's website. On ADFK.app, he wrote a blog post about it, and he broke down like vitality scaling, similar to what you're saying. Wow, he's like how impactful it is, and how he starts off with vigor stones on all of his heroes now, and
with vitality.
Yeah, with vigor stones. So that means they start out with like 14 to 16, anywhere from there, and it just pumps it up way more. And he basically talked about how like he's noticed like with the vigor stones.
Yep.
By like level 5, he's coming out with heroes out that have like 350 plus HP, and it's like it's just a game changer. So now you can even see a lot of people's heroes now that are coming out, like they're making these heroes, and you come out with a vigor stone, you throw an atonement crystal on it. By level 5, level 6, level 7, like I have some heroes now that are like level 8. I have a pally that's like, I have a dread. That's perfect example. I have a dread that has 650 HP, and he's like level 8.
Oh,
and freaking 3 Wolves has a Dark Knight that has like 750 HP, and it's like level 8. Some crazy.
Oh my god!
Has like 40 vitality. He showed it off in the Mythic Squad Discord. It's like it's nuts, and I was like, that's crazier than mine. And my it was crazier than my dread, and my dread was greater vigor stone dread, and with an atonement crystal plus 35 HP, and he still his Dark Knight still had more, and it was nuts. He has a crazy Dark Knight. I think he has multiple 3 Wolves.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, maybe the level isn't mistaken, but I know it's something that was like it was nuts. It was like way higher. It had to have rolled a medium or high roll every single time, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow. So it looks like it's pretty. There's a little minor split debate between as the Garant for PvP archers going between vitality or Dex. But regardless, you're always hitting vitality and Dex on every level up.
100%.
The only debate is what to put as the guaranteed stat.
Also,
the Dex might outweigh the vitality and the HP that you'll need if you're dealing way more damage with a way higher chance to hit versus not.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say too. Also, look at your skill tree too. Like, if you have like Giant Slayer, you might want to opt into staying low health, just because if you're going to be in the back line, and you have, you know, what I'm saying, you have Giant Slayer, and you want to basically, you want to hit harder, longer. You know what I'm saying? So you may want to opt for a lower HP, hero like that, like a lower HP archer, depending on that.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
So
but watch out.
Yeah. But you also could get one shot or pulled.
Yeah,
you can get one shot too like that, or you can get pulled.
Yeah.
And because Archer's not gonna, even if you level fit, Archer's not gonna get as high as like a Dragoon or a Dread until he starts scaling into like the level 13, 14, 15s, right? Even if you go straight up all the way out, Vit on a Dragoon, Vit on an Archer, you're not gonna reach that Dragoon's HP. You'll start to get closer once you start to get into like the 30, 40 vitality range, and then you'll start to like get the good rolls, but you still won't hit as high HP. But yeah, if you have
my advice is, if you're going with low, if you're gonna be building for low health, build for speed.
Yes. Or even evasion, right? You have low health, because there could be a tactic which is like, okay, stay low health, right? But if you have really high agility and maybe like a double foresight or something, and you can get up to like 30% evasion or something like that, then if they can't hit you, you don't need that much HP, right?
Yeah.
In theory, you know what I'm saying? Because if they do hit you and just one shot you, or play for like, if you have low HP, let's say you have a low HP Giant Slayer build in the back line, play for like a front line that has double fearless.
Yeah.
Right? That can't, you know what I'm saying? And then you can basically, he can stay in, and then the other person can't get pulled back to or you can't get pushed. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and real quick, Sticks, we still got to do the egg giveaway. If you're available sometime tomorrow, hit me up. We'll do it. Maybe not too late in the night. We can knock that out. Okay. So now, as I scroll down, so we started off right off the bat. We did have intelligence come into play. Okay.
Right, but that's more of a cross-class ability, in my opinion. That's if you've got Archer in your subclass for a wizard or a summoner or sage.
Yeah, okay. And then now we start seeing some, of course, Dex is all over the place. The more Dex with an Archer, the better. But we start seeing a lot of luck. So luck is big for Archers.
Well, it can be
in some of these builds. Yeah.
So in some of these, like, this is really good for a thief main class. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in some of these instances, they're going, okay, well, if you had a forager, they probably put in a bunch of decks and a bunch of intelligence. Let's have some in scaling, and let's give them effective luck based off of their intelligence investment, right? And now you've got a lot of other things that pop off of luck as well.
Right.
So already pumped intelligence, you've basically also pumped luck if you choose that ability in the beginning.
Yeah. And then, here's some more luck and Dex. There's always Dex. Okay, more luck on Flurry on the right builds. We're kind of more talking about. More luck here on marksmanship. Okay. And then, so all I saw, there was one with strength, I thought. One of these.
Those should be in the alts, the 10 cost abilities, the blue ones.
These are 5s, so then 10 plus.
Oh, you're looking for the 10s.
Oh, just.
Yeah, it should be down further.
Skill points. Okay. Oh, I see.
There you go.
Well, I didn't see it here. Oh, sorry. I thought it stopped. So now we got some strength, and always Dex. Here's agility.
So when you see these, that's indicating that this is a really good cross-class pick for something that's got high strength already. Like if
Yep.
you've got a warrior archer, pick that strength dex ability, man. That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And here's endurance on this one.
Yeah, for your knights.
For a knight subclass. Okay. Or if the archer's a subclass. Okay.
Right, yeah. This is everything is able to be picked up from a subclass, except for the 15 cost.
But only a total of 15 skill points, right?
Right. So you can pick one alt and then 5 points out of all of the basics, essentially.
So the 15, can't be used. But that's only for... Okay. Is that the one that's double arch, like an archer, a subclass archer?
Yeah, so those are for archers.
Okay. So everything else, endurance, strength, definitely luck. So what I'm seeing is for archers, intelligence can be good, but it's definitely dex and vitality. Vitality, everybody, and you can never go wrong with using a vitality stone. Okay, but other stats that can really come out is luck. Seems like being the third best stat for an archer. But again, it depends on the build. But also,
remember, luck is all based off critical strikes, and every damage unit wants crits.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, man.
So, three best stats for an archer: dex, vitality, luck.
Honestly, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You and then, probably sprinkle some agility here
and endurance and agility can all be good too.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you have multiple archers or any multiple of any hero, the best thing to do is make different builds of the hero. Try to maybe lay it out or spreadsheet it out, or even just notepad it, or just keep a mental note like, okay, I have this archer doing this, I have this archer doing this, because if you, it just, that's kind of what I've done even with some of my heroes, and even I look back on it, I didn't do it enough with some of my heroes. Like I have 15 Dark Knights that are like maybe over like level 8, and I'm like, I have only like 2 that are like crit Dark Knights, which have like over 30 luck or over 25 luck, and I'm like, I should have made more of these.
Yeah,
I should have made more. Like I think if you have multiple of the same hero, just try to make different builds of them. Just because if you run into a unique combo that you find and you're like, oh wow, this works like this. And but ultimately, whatever is the highest multiplier on the skill codex is really going to be the best, the most beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. And so, and I thought I saw agility on one of these.
It's evasion. That's what you're thinking of. You're thinking of Shroud, I think.
So, okay. And agility, would you guys say is always just going to be good for anybody?
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to spec into.
It really is. And we don't know, because I mean, I pay attention to whatever the devs say, literally anything. I'm all on top of it. And I have a feeling that the way turn order is, I guess, organized is the right word for it. But the way turn order works right now isn't set in stone and has a possibility of changing in the near future.
Yeah, right. But as it looks right now, agility is probably one that can always be good.
Possibly. Yeah, it's just really hard to spec into, man. Unless you really come out the gate with like a swiftness stone or something. It's like most of the heroes that have agility that aren't ninja or thief, their agility scaling is like under 50%. So to even spec into it, you have to be okay with missing a few levels in it while putting, you know what I'm saying, maybe even throwing a lesser crystal or something like that on it, or even putting it first. You have to be okay with even missing it. That's why I think it's going to be one of those stats that are like, wow, I wish I had more of this, but it's like I probably couldn't even got more of this if I wanted.
Yeah. See, I've got, generally speaking, how I've been leveling up to this point, even still, is I kind of follow the profession because I still view it as early in the game. They're at early levels. Like even at level 20, it's still early because we'll have 80 more levels, left. And so if I realize, oh, I shouldn't have been putting wisdom on this archer, for a gardener, then it's fine. At least I'm helping my mana. It'll still kind of pay off potentially for that archer. And then down the road, I can just keep pounding. And I'm always pounding vitality anyways on everybody pretty much. Or like a Dark Knight, I'm pounding that luck and agility, a Dark Knight Fisher on these early levels. And because luck and agility, I feel like for Paladin, for a Dark Knight, for a Legionnaire, okay, where those are your 3 worst fishers in the game. That still might turn out right. Would you guys say agility and luck might turn out good for anybody and everybody? Or am I flawed? Okay.
No, you're right in that aspect, because not only is it the main speed contributor, it's also the main evasion contributor as well.
Yeah, baby. And what do you think to that? Effects? It's still speculation, I know, but
no, I think agility is going to be big.
Okay, for especially I'm thinking a Dark Knight or a Paladin, but
it's just hard to spec into those as a Dark Knight or Paladin.
It's hard to hit on those, right? Especially, when you have subclass. Go.
Yeah, and I was gonna say if they're really slow anyway, it's like, you don't want to be a little bit faster if you're already slow. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to really to decide if you want to be a little bit faster if you're already a little bit slow.
Yeah, right. And so I think it could turn out being big. It might turn out just being So Sticks, real quick, don't stress out about it. We'll be good. I got it. I got you, baby. Okay.
Man, not to throw the party off, but it's 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Is it really 2 a.m. already?
Not for you guys, but for me, I kind of got to hit the hay.
You got to go to work?
Nah, I got to do something in the morning, but I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm gonna watch from my bed until I fall asleep. But it was fun being on with you guys, and we'll do this another time. But
hell yeah, man.
All right, enjoy the rest of the stream, man.
Out. This is nuts.
Peace out, Wowee. Peace out, Grady.
Later, man. Have a good one.
Effects, you're a freaking legend.
All right, love y'all, man.
Love you, man. Okay, so
I'm perfectly fine with picking this up on another day here.
Okay. Because what time zone are you? It's 1.
Same time zone. It's 2 a.m. for me as well. I didn't even realize.
Okay.
I really should be getting to bed here soon. But yeah, I don't mind picking this up any day. You know what I mean? There might be an alpha drop tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be busy with that. But
we can jump right back into it and go straight to it. I didn't think it would take quite that long to go over the abilities. I was trying to
there's so much to go over, man.
Through it. Yeah.
Like I said, I was thinking I was making a 5 or 10 minute little instructional video for the combat testing grounds, and 45 minutes in, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that long.
Right. It's nuts, dude. On the time warp especially. So let's wrap up Archer. Last couple questions.
Sure.
How ineffective, let's say I've got an Archer. Okay. How much will it help me to have wisdom?
It probably won't.
At all?
It probably won't help you much to have wisdom on an archer at all.
0. It'll help a little bit with the mana, which helps with the skills.
That's about it, though. So, let's break down what wisdom does, right? It's the magic defense stat. Okay. It's the main stat for calculating healing. It's the secondary MP growth or mana growth contributor.
Right. Secondary.
It's second to intelligence. It does grant some magic damage reduction.
Yeah,
So
because
that's always a little useful.
Magic evasion. And so won't that come into play if like priest busts out the Holy Wrath? Is that magic, Holy Wrath?
Yes.
So that could be good.
Yeah, so it gives you magic damage reduction, but I don't think that archers stacking wisdom are really going to make that much of an impact.
Okay.
In that role specifically.
Yeah. But if the priest is back there trying to go after the archer, because he's a damage dealer, and those priests and whoever else deals damage is going to be targeting the archer, don't you think magic evasion can be important? Or
so evasion is evasion across the board, right? So your agility score contributes to your evasion score, which is both physical and magical.
okay.
So agility is actually magical evasion as well.
Yeah.
The
So
only
just
thing
go for
wisdom
it.
does is magic damage reduction.
Oh, so it doesn't evade magic at all.
No.
But it still is good if he's getting targeted with magic. The damage reduction comes in.
Right.
So if you're building that archer with low HP, which if you got a gardener, you've been pounding that vitality first anyways. But I guess it still can help. On a scale of 1 to 100, where would you put it having wisdom?
Well, let's do this.
The two benefits are magic reduction, which can still benefit an archer, and
right, and the mana growth,
and a little bit of mana boost.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the second worst out of all 8 stats for a archer.
What's the worst?
Intelligence.
Oh, really?
Because it has no magical attacks. It doesn't need spell block. Right?
Spell block.
Yeah, so spell block is the same as block, but just for magical attacks. Where if you have a chance, basically, when you're targeted by a spell, to take the hit, but you can block it and return and make the damage 0.
But he's got no chance to block it.
Right. So in a high intelligence gives you higher chance to block a spell.
So why would that be bad for an archer?
It's not bad for an archer, but the chances are probably going to be much lower than anybody else would have.
But like, let's say with this archer right here, I've got 26 intelligence.
And what's the subclass?
Wizard.
All right, now intelligence is really good.
Yeah. Well, and it also can really come into play because of this early marksmanship.
Yep.
Possibly, if you build it that way.
Yeah, no, that'll be really good for you. Like, there's so many different instances that you want to be doing it, right? So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and switch it. I'm going to say wisdom is probably the least wanted stat on a archer, period. Because, I mean, at least there's int benefits within the skill tree.
Yeah.
For archers, but there's not wisdom.
Not wisdom. So the benefits are reducing magic damage and gaining mana. That's it.
Yep, that is literally it. And you're gaining more mana from pumping intelligence instead.
Yeah, so you'd be better off pumping intelligence. So, but okay. So I'm so curious to see how this shakes out. Having some archers that will be more unique potentially, and just with all heroes. Okay, so wisdom and intelligence are the 2 worst.
Endurance might be pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, so endurance might be underneath intelligence, right?
Okay.
Because that's physical damage, right? So you'd be taking damage reduction from typically other archers, right? Yeah. Other range damagers. So this would be other archers, and I mean, I think the only thing that you would really gain out of it is effect resistance.
Yeah.
and then that's it. It's just an armor value calculator. But those, I would say those three are probably on the lower end.
On the lower end, where endurance does come into play, because that is his third best leveling stat, which is
right. And it's all it's supposed to do is help you versus other archers and like melee attackers. And if you're playing PvP, your archer's never going to be in the front.
Yeah, but if you use this precision skill, it could come into play.
Yes, it could come into play.
Yeah, that would
so
be
that
potentially. Yeah,
yeah.
This is like my most fun part of all this, is kind of figuring all this out. And Aphectz, you don't need to apologize for anything. Aphectz, 0. I apologize 100% for being the time warp. So, but with all this being said, see, Aphectz said he likes strength and endurance.
Mm-hmm.
He likes agility and luck and dex and vitality for an archer.
Yeah, if I'd say your can't go wrong stats on an archer are dex, vitality, agility, and luck. You cannot go wrong if you're choosing one of those 4 stats at any time.
But especially the 3 is luck, dex, vitality.
Right.
I mean, right. That's pretty much far above and beyond all the rest. Those 3.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Yeah. I got like strength is going to be kind of important as well at some point, because even though it's not augmenting the damage of a ranged move or ranged ability on a archer in most cases, what strength is going to do on the like utility end for everybody is determine what kind of equipment you can equip.
Yeah.
So when we get to crafting and we get like armor and we get weapons, there's going to be a strength requirement in order to equip them.
Yeah. Wow.
So
and we got these 2 big fatty precision skills.
Yeah.
With strength as a multiplier.
Yeah, and they're really good too. So no, they're great. Debilitating shots, fantastic. And pin is also fantastic as well.
Okay. This is my favorite conversation. I don't know why, but leveling, because that's what we can do right now. We can level our heroes now, because we have to also deal with the debate of, we want, I kind of think I've always had this feeling in my gut that I'm going to have some unique heroes that are highly valuable, because I've just been like for Dex, for example, on a Sage. Nobody was doing that but me.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. So, and just, I've always kind of thought luck and agility for a Paladin and Dark Knight will turn out being real good. This is so fun though, but it's without question Dex and Vitality.
100%.
Dex and Vitality are far above and beyond everything, and then luck is a decent amount above and beyond.
Honestly, I would say Dex is the absolute top, period.
Yeah,
and then you can mix in, I would say, luck and agility, and then vitality after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though you're pounding that vitality early
Even though I'm pounding vitality, like it. So I'm playing the super long game. I'm playing the game like 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm leveling all of my vitality.
Right. Me too. I'm thinking down the road. I'm thinking level 100.
Yeah, I'm thinking level 100 the whole way.
Yeah.
And like I said, like you're going to see the difference between, I've pumped vitality into my wizard every single level. Yeah. Right? Because by the time you get to level 100, that's 99 vitality different.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. And so by the time you hit level 100, part of my thought too, in the first 10 to 15, even 20 levels, but especially the first 10, on my archers that I pounded wisdom, vitality and wisdom, and then I stop. But at least at those early levels, I might have an edge on other archers potentially because I've got that little bit of wisdom early on.
Right.
At level 100, which then pounded the mana a little more. And that like multiplies over time. So like this guy, he's still just what, level 13 or 14? He's level 14 now. So
yeah, he's leveling up so
he's
good.
Just a baby. I mean, he's still just a little baby. In human years, he's not even 14 yet. He's like 12 in human years.
So I can give you a real cool trick that I use to gauge like how well a hero's stats are going to be towards the end. If you look at the growth page
of like
of anybody, if you look at the growth page of any card,
yeah, right.
Basically what you're seeing is the expected added stat bonus by level 100.
Right.
So you're expected out of your primary growth to receive 83 decks on your trip from level 1 to 100. Right? And if you're using crystals, that augments that chance, right?
Yeah.
So if you're at 83% and you're using a lesser crystal, which gives you what, 5%? You know, now you're expecting 88 on your trip from level 1 to 100.
Yeah.
So at the very end, whatever your starting dex was, say it was 12 decks was your starting dex. At level 100, you're expected to have 100 decks from your primary stat growth.
Yeah. Wow.
And then your secondary can get thrown in there as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, secondary's thrown in. I did
so you're looking at 13 and a half expected stats drawn out of your secondary growth. Now, if you rock Dex as your primary choice when you're leveling up, and you do it the entire way 1 to 100, that's an additional 99 points into Dex on top of all of that.
Plus whatever the mythic bonus stats he gets.
Yep. Yeah, and those are just random. Like, yeah, what it's 10 every 5 levels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so by level 100, you're looking at 200 extra stats just thrown around in random places.
Yeah. And then you throw on top of it the subclass. You know, that this is why this guy is leveled up so jacked with that's part of why wisdom is even better than strength, because of the wizard subclass, which throws in. It's just so fun, man. This is the best game I've ever seen. It's the best freaking team in crypto. DeFi Kingdoms has so much upside. Okay, and you were comparing this to Diablo, and I was like, whoa, isn't that like you have a joystick and you're playing? What is that called? Like,
I wasn't the one comparing it to Diablo. That might have been Aphectz.
I thought you did on Sargent's stream.
Yeah, no, that one wasn't me. But I mean, I can. Oh no, it was Umfreak. Umfreak was.
That's right. That's right. And he was saying he played some Diablo game and he was liking this better. And
yeah, there's a lot more to do, right? And so the complication levels are different. You know, people are saying like, oh, it's too complicated, people aren't going to like it. Well, it's because of the complication that people are going to like it. There's more to think about. There's more to do. There's more to strategize. There's more to build than in Diablo, where you've got 3 different options to choose from, and that's all you get.
Yeah. Wowee. DeFi Kingdoms gets a Grady rating of Wowee, baby. That's my crypto rating. My assessment as DeFi Kingdoms is down there in Los Angeles. DeFi Kingdoms is in Los Angeles, I hope, representing down there for that TV show, Next Crypto Gym. As far as I know, I think they're out there. I'm hoping and praying anyways. They're repping DeFi Kingdoms. And then there's like a whole bunch of other projects out there too. And they're shooting. And there's going to be a top 16. Okay, but there's dozens of other projects that are applying to be on that TV show. All these other crypto projects. And the Grady the Grady rating of most of these projects are probably going to be, you know, B's and C's and D's. And I can guarantee it will be the same for George. I am George. He's not going to be given too many S's out there to too many projects. But guess what? The rating for DeFi Kingdoms is, baby, it gets a Wowee rating. We got to get the merch. The Wowee DeFi Kingdoms gets a crypto Grady Wowee rating.
Oh man, that'd be great. Like I said, I'm thinking about making some shirts that just says Wowee rated.
Oh baby, Wowee rated, and then you could have DeFi Kingdoms underneath.
Oh, I love it.
Oof, yes, baby. Okay, we got to do some merch because that's my rating of DeFi Kingdoms. This freaking game is unbelievable. It's mind blowing. There's no telling that. There is no telling where this can go. I'm so pumped. If you're leveling your archers for PvP, you want to be pounding that dex. You want to be pounding that luck and agility and vitality and strength. What's your order? We're still not, we're sub level 20.
Right.
You're doing vitality. And then once you hit what, level 5, level 10, when do you switch it to dex?
Oh, personally, I don't. Like I
You're
said,
always-
I'm playing the game for level 100, so I'm sticking with vitality probably until level 30 or 40.
Oh, which is, some people say I'm still young. I'm over old. Do I have 100-year expected living? So if I'm still young at 40, in my 40s, we'll say, then that makes sense.
I mean, we're gonna get there. You know
So
what I mean?
Let's say you got this mythic archer perilous journey monster. You're still hitting vitality at level 20, 25. You're not going with dex?
Nope.
Woo-hoo-hoo, baby.
I go with dex in my secondary for sure. With my secondary picks, I'm going dex agility. I'm going dex luck all day long.
Yeah. Okay. So then at level 40, you're swapping that to dex. Is that right or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be pumping the dex pretty hard.
Okay.
My characters will be a little bit behind the curve when we're playing PvP at level 20 and 30. But when we're playing at level 100, I'm not gonna go down easy.
Okay. And so you put yeah. Well, then you just contradicted yourself, man. You're killing me.
Well, I would like to put it all the way up to level 100, but it's the stacking compound interest from the beginning levels.
Right. So let's rewind a bit. So vitality is your first stat, then dex, and then luck. Are we going to agree on that?
Yeah, luck and agility are pretty much interchangeable for me.
Really?
It depends on what you want the role to play, right? Do you want a fast archer? Go agility. Do you want a heavy hitting archer? Go luck.
I see. All right. There you have it, boys and girls. And then strength and endurance, especially strength, you said, can be really good for an archer.
Yes. Strength is going to dictate how good of equipment you can equip on your archer.
Yeah. And it has those abilities, those skills. I mean, those skills where it does have some multipliers, some good ones too, where strength, and also there's one good one with endurance. Wisdom, not so much, but still could turn out being sneaky good.
If you got the right subclass.
And even without the subclass, getting that magic reduction of damage, because they're all going to be targeting the priest out there, that wizard. They're going to be targeting that archer.
Oh, yeah.
So reducing that damage for magic, you never know. All right. And intelligence can be good too. But I'm saying vitality and dex, far above and beyond all. And then we got luck and agility. Next, in the next tier for stats, and then we got strength and endurance can be good. We got intelligence and wisdom that can be good. Okay. Is that pretty much there?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Next, we got knight. We got the thief we're going to be hitting on. We got all, the warrior, the pirate, Soon we'll have the monk. We got the berserker. We got the seer. We're going to be hitting on all these, baby, on how to best level our heroes. Rubber meeting the road. How this can actually apply to us now. What we need to be thinking about. What we need to be looking at. I love you guys. Wowee and Crypto Grady out. Baby.
Thanks for having me.
Legend. You and Aphectz, freaking legends. I love you guys. We need to do this together more often. I feel like I want to start a business. I want to get in bed with you guys. I love you guys so much. Baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby.